Hi, my name is Rolf Penner. I'm a farmer from Morris, Manitoba, and I need your help. As an MP, it's in your power to make life much, much better for my family and myself. Now, I'm not asking today for special treatment. I'm not asking you for a handout or even a hand up. What I'm looking for and asking for is simply the right to be able to sell the barley that I grow on my farm to whomever I choose, just like farmers in Ontario, Quebec, and the rest of Canada are allowed to do. You're going to have the opportunity very shortly to vote on a piece of legislation regarding the future of the Canadian Wheat Board's role in marketing Western Canadian barley. And I'd like to take a couple of minutes to explain to you why I think you should vote in favor of this legislation. The main reason is that it's just the right thing to do. A federal law should treat all Canadians as equals and not discriminate against them based on where they live. But right now it's a criminal offense in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and a small part of BC for farmers to sell their own malting barley. And ironically, while this is the result of a federal law, farmers in the rest of the country face no similar restriction on who they choose to do business with. The proposed legislation would do away with this form of legal bias based on geographic location, and it would finally treat all farmers in the country in the same fair, consistent, and equitable manner. While some farmers in Canada want to continue marketing their grain through the Canadian Wheat Board, others, such as myself, plainly do not. And while we can argue over which group of growers is in the majority here, one thing that's not debatable is that in Canada, we respect and tolerate the rights and views not only of a majority, but also of minorities. And changing the role of the Canadian Wheat Board in prairie farmers' lives from one of mandatory participation to one of voluntary involvement recognizes this value. Put yourself in my shoes for a minute. Sometime in winter, after I've finished doing my budgets, I decide on which crops I'm going to grow. I talk to my banker. I secure financing for the inputs, things like diesel fuel, fertilizer, and seed. Come springtime, I race to get that crop in the ground in a timely manner. Every time there's a weather forecast, I worry. I wonder, is it going to rain? Is it going to be too much? Will there be hail? What about an untimely frost? And then when the crop is ripe, I race again to get it off the field, get it harvested before the fall weather turns against me. Now, after all that work, worry, and risk is done, and that grain is safely stored in a grain bin, and I want to redeem the product of my effort, I can't. Because as soon as I can turn that grain into money, it no longer belongs to me. It now belongs to a government agency, the Canadian Wheat Board, who promises to take care of it for me. Now, if ever there was a definition of patronizing, this has got to be it. There are economic arguments to consider in all of this as well. I know I can get more for my grain than the Canadian Wheat Board does. Other farmers think that I can't. But no matter who is ultimately right in their economic opinion, that's secondary to the fact that the product of one's effort belongs to the person who made that effort in the first place. And it is their undeniable right to do with it what they wish, no matter what anyone else thinks is right or wrong, good or bad. This should not be a partisan issue. What it's about is about giving farmers such as myself in the West the same dignity and respect as the farmers in the rest of Canada, and finally treating us all as equal under the law. Look, all I'm asking for is that you let me sell the crop that I create myself. Please, just let me sell my own barley.